A Delta Force team races through dark Panama streets, bullets flying. Their mission, rescue an American hostage before time runs out December 20th, 1989, Panama City. Kurt Muse, an American citizen, is beaten and tortured in Noriega's secret prison. The White House has just 48 hours before he's executed. The United States has always made it clear, they leave no one behind. The call goes out to America's most elite warriors, Delta Force. What follows is the most daring hostage rescue in special operations history, deep behind enemy lines and hostile territory. This is Operation Acid Gambit. Kurt Muse was no ordinary prisoner. An American businessman living in Panama, Muse had worked with anti-Noriega activists to spread anti-regime propaganda by hijacking Panama's radio airwaves. For Noriega, it was an act of defiance that could not go unpunished. Muse was arrested, locked away inside Carcel Modelo prison, one of the most feared facilities in Panama City. Intelligence soon revealed that if the U.S. launched military action, Noriega's men had orders to execute Muse immediately. For Washington, that was unacceptable. The order went out, rescue him at any cost. And the unit chosen was America's best-kept secret. 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, December 20th, 1989. U.S. forces unleashed Operation Just Cause, a massive invasion to topple Noriega. Amid the chaos, a small team of Delta operators prepared for their own high-risk mission, the rescue of Kurt Muse. In the pre-dawn darkness, helicopters thundered toward Panama City. Inside, heavily armed Delta operators sat silent, faces painted, weapons ready. Their target, the Modelo prison. This was no surgical snatch and grab. The prison sat in the middle of a hostile city crawling with armed Panamanian defense forces. Every block was a potential kill zone. The operators knew, once they went in, there would be no turning back. If anything went wrong, Muse would die, and they themselves would be trapped in a hornet's nest. The helicopters roared in low, skimming over rooftops. As the prison walls came into view, the night erupted. Gunfire lit up the sky. Panamanian guards scrambled, spraying bullets blindly into the darkness. Delta's Black Hawk slammed down on the prison roof. Before the skids even touched, operators were out, fast roping into the fight. Delta operators were split into assault teams that fast roped onto the Modelo prison roof and cleared down to Muse's 3rd floor cell, while other elements secured stairwells and hallways to block guards and maintain control of the building. Muzzle flashes tore through the air. Bullets cracked against concrete. The element of surprise was gone, but Delta thrived in chaos. Inside, a breaching team blew through steel bars and heavy doors. The thunder of charges echoed in the narrow halls. Panamanian guards tried to respond, but they were outmatched, cut down in seconds by precise, surgical fire. Every second counted. Operators raced through the maze of cells until, finally, they reached him. Behind heavy bars, disoriented but alive, stood Kurt Muse. The door was broken open by bolt cutters, which absolutely tore through the thick metal. Within minutes, the door was down. For the first time in 9 months, he was free. But the hardest part was still ahead. The team hustled Muse up to the rooftop, gunfire rattling around them. Their Black Hawk hovered overhead, taking hits from Panamanian defenders. The pilot fought to keep the aircraft steady as operators lifted Muse inside. Then, disaster. A burst of enemy fire ripped into the helicopter's engine. Flames licked the fuselage as alarms screamed. The little bird slammed into the street, sparks flying as rotors chewed into concrete. Smoke and fuel filled the night air. Delta operators from the second bird scrambled over immediately upon seeing the crash. Inside, Delta operators fought through the wreckage, dragging Kurt Muse free while gunfire erupted from surrounding buildings. Bullets hammered the fuselage, glass and metal splintering as Panamanian troops closed in. Delta reacted instantly, forming a tight defensive circle, weapons roaring into the darkness. If you're enjoying this, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment whether any other Special Forces unit could have moved this quickly. Each operator moved with cold precision, one laying suppressive fire while another pulled Muse to cover. The night lit with muzzle flashes from every corner, the crack of rifles echoing off the walls. Muse, stunned and disoriented, clung to the men who had promised to bring him home. Seconds stretched like hours. Pinned down, outnumbered, the operators shifted and fired, calm under chaos, every drill and instinct keeping them alive. Just when the fight threatened to overwhelm, the low rumble of engines cut through the gunfire. Headlights burst into view, Delta's Humvees charging in, heavy weapons barking. The convoy smashed into the fight, scattering defenders. In a blur of motion, Muse was bundled aboard, operators piling in beside him. The Humvees roared away into the night, leaving behind only shattered glass, smoke, and silence. It was proof that when American lives are in danger, the U.S. military will stop at nothing, sending its most elite warriors into the jaws of danger. And on that night in Panama, against the chaos of battle, Delta Force showed the world what it means to leave no one